One of the Boeremag accused is found guilty and Parliament warned of a power crisis on the horizon. Good day to you. Convicted Boeremag leader Mike du Toit may be convicted of various other charges after he was found guilty of treason in the High Court in Pretoria this afternoon. The North Gauteng High Court has ruled that plans discussed by Boeremag members at the so-called Potato Shed meeting in 2002 were without doubt about a violent coup. Du Toit was among the first of 22 treason accused to be arrested in 2002. Lena Magnus reports.
There are 3 or 4 main charges. The most important charge is a treason charge. And then there's the murder charge, the sabotage charge, and the terrorism charge. And then the rest of the charges are basically alternatives to these charges of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition and explosives. And how it works, if they were not found guilty on the main charges, then the judge could then find them guilty on the other charges. But because he's been found guilty of the main charge now, the other charges are basically just a technicality.
Parliament has been warned of a looming crisis in the distribution of electricity across the country. The Energy Portfolio Committee has been told that the average age of power networks is 45 years and that there's been chronic underinvestment by municipalities in their maintenance. Too little is also being done to train replacements to staff who will soon retire. Dennis Dykes from Business Unity South Africa says more than 80% of chambers of commerce have warned that concerns about power provision are affecting businesses.
There's a growing sense that things might actually fall apart in the next short while unless something fairly drastic is actually done.
The Mail and Guardian editor Nick Dawes and 2 of the newspaper's journalists have been questioned at the Specialised Commercial Crimes Unit in Pretoria. They say the charges laid against himself and the 2 journalists relate to contravention of the National Prosecuting Act. It deals with records collected by the NPA in the course of a confidential inquiry. Dawes says there's also a charge of theft of the records. Presidential spokesperson Mac Maharaj laid criminal charges against the Mail and Guardian in November last year. The charges relate to a front-page story in the newspaper, which featured a picture of Maharaj alongside the words "censored." The Fisheries Department says they've confiscated more than 3 tons of abalone in the past week in joint operations with police. This after a Chinese national was arrested in Milnerton outside Cape Town for allegedly being in possession of abalone worth 12 million rand. Fisheries spokesperson Lionel Ardendorf.
We, together with several units of South African Police Service and our fishery control officers, arrested 7 men and confiscated around 26,400 units of abalone that amounts to 3.2 tons in 5 different incidences of illegal poaching. We consider this one of our best weeks thus far in our continuous campaign to protect our marine resources.
The DA set itself the task of creating 1 million jobs using what it calls the DA's Plan for Growth and Jobs. The plan, a product of consultation within the party and with a range of experts, is set to be launched on Saturday by party leader Helen Ziller. The DA's federal chairperson, Wilmot James.
We would implement what's in the document where we govern. That document goes to the province of the Western Cape where we govern, and it's a political framework in terms of which they must execute what they do there. So there will be policy adjustments in the Western Cape, policy adjustments in the city of Cape Town, policy adjustments in every municipality where we govern.
The UN Secretary General has become the first UN chief to visit Srebrenica. 8,000 Muslim men and boys were killed there by Serb forces in 1995. The top story at 5 o'clock, convicted Boeremag leader Mike du Toit may be convicted of various other charges after he was found guilty of treason in the High Court in Pretoria this afternoon.